We spend a third of our lives in bed, so why is it that 35% of adults are lying there awake? Now, a few months ago, I started making a video on how to optimize your sleep for recovery and performance. And then the funniest thing happened. I got insomnia. Initially, the problem wasn't too bad. I'd wake up in the middle of the night to go for a pee, and then when I go back to bed, I wouldn't be able to go back to sleep. Over time, this problem seemed to happen more regularly, until recently it began happening every single night. I was exhausted, I began to dread going to bed, and it got so serious that I had to call my GP and ask for some advice. And he told me, the common cause for insomnia is stress and anxiety. I was not stressed or anxious, however, ironically, not being able to sleep was making me stressed and anxious. Now, there's a list of things that can affect your sleep, the main one being poor sleep hygiene. Sleep hygiene basically means creating an environment and a sleep routine that promotes good sleep, such as going to bed and getting up at the same time, limiting caffeine and alcohol later during the day, and using the bedroom or bed specifically for sleeping only, which granted can be a little bit difficult when you live in a one-bedroom apartment. I was committed to beating insomnia and regaining control over my sleep. So I got to work straight away. I created a sleeping haven, keeping the room relaxing, blackout blinds, earbuds, eye mask. I pretty much created my own sleeping spa, and I still couldn't sleep. And then I discovered Andrew Huberman, and for those of you who don't know, Andrew Huberman is the Michael Jordan of sleep optimization. He currently has a popular sleeping routine that involves 7 steps, such as viewing sunlight within 30 minutes of waking up, avoiding caffeine and alcohol 10 hours before bed, as well as a nighttime cocktail consisting of magnesium, theanine, and apigenin. He says to introduce these supplements individually to see if you notice a difference, so I started by taking magnesium. I immediately implemented the 7 Huberman steps, and to be honest, they're pretty easy. The hardest one for me was getting the 30 minutes of sunlight in the morning. In the UK, I had to settle just for getting outside for 30 minutes as there's not always sunlight. After a couple of weeks of implementing the Huberman method, I began to fall asleep really easily. However, this was not enough to cure my mysterious early morning wake-ups. I even started implementing step 7, which is to listen to a yoga nidra when you wake up in the middle of the night. However, it didn't really help me fall back to sleep, it rather gave me something to do as I lay in bed wide awake. That is it, I've had enough. I called my GP up again, and this time he told me, "We're gonna have to book you in for a blood test and see if this is a medical condition." Then I hung up the phone and realised there was one area I had yet to explore. Surely there was an app that could fix my problems. And there it was, Stellar Sleep. My heart sunk as I realised it was a paid-for app. Currently I can barely afford to keep the heating on. I can't start paying for sleep, surely. Then I saw that they had a 7-day free trial, so I thought, you know what, let's give it a go. So I immediately began my 7-day trial. Not really convinced that it would do anything, but I didn't really have any other options apart from my upcoming blood test in a couple of weeks. And you'll never guess what, it worked. Now, the Stellar Sleep app offers a wealth of knowledge in easy to digest videos. However, the one thing that seemed to work for me was the one thing I'd yet to try, and that was keeping a sleep journal. Each day in the app, you write down how long you slept, how long for, and how many times you woke up during the night. I don't know what it is, but something about just journaling about my sleep seemed to help improve my sleep. On day 3, you introduce worry journaling, which is where you write down things you're worried about, which I also found really beneficial. However, the one thing that really helped me cure my insomnia was on day 4 when we introduced daily gratitude. When I was waking up in the middle of the night, unable to get back to sleep, I just lay there really frustrated, getting angry at myself. Why can't I sleep? This is so annoying. It's not fair. I'm only gonna have so many hours before I have to get up for work. However, the Stellar app taught me that when I wake up in the middle of the night, rather than focusing on frustration and anger about being awake, to put all my focus into gratitude. Now, I'll be honest, this next bit is a little bit sad. So I currently live in a small town, and when you're walking around the place, there is quite a lot of homeless people sleeping in the streets. So the next time I woke up in the middle of the night and I couldn't get back to sleep, I started using gratitude. Gratitude that I was in a big comfy bed, gratitude that I was warm and safe, gratitude for all the things that I take for granted on a daily basis. And you'll never guess what, I fell straight back to sleep. I think some of the times our problems can seem all embodying and they can start to consume us. We become victims, which only seems to exasperate our problems even further. I never thought when I started making a video about sleep and researching my own personal journey with insomnia that the cure would be so simple, and that would be to be more grateful. And if this video has taught us anything, I hope it can be to focus on all the good things we have in life. Because if you're watching this video, the chances are that you have a lot more than the vast majority of the world. Wow, that got pretty deep, but yeah, that's it. That's how I cured my insomnia. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.